was working in a nursing home at 16, where I went in as a work incentive program through school. I was taking sort of like an institutional course in child care, health care, and sort of had a bit of nursing. And I did a 6-month work experience program in a nursing home. And I got a part-time job. And that was back in the early 70s, where at that time they had something called student minimum wage. So you worked for $1.98 an hour, and you would be working beside someone who is over the age of 18 who is making $2.90 an hour. So they're making almost $1 more than you were. And that was just the way it was, eh? And so one day I came into work, and I was actually working part-time doing my work experience and going to school. And I had actually taken on a full-time evening shift where I worked from 4 to 12 and 4 to 9. And I came into work to pick up my paycheck, and there was 2. And I was being paid $3 and I believe it was 55 cents or something an hour. And there was this thing called retroactivity. And I thought to myself, retroactive, I'm 16, I don't know what that is. Anyway, I thought they paid me wrong, so I went over and I talked to a fellow I knew on one of the floors, and I said, you know what, the employers paid me wrong. They've given me this first they're paying me $3.15 or 45 cents or whatever it was, and this retroactivity, what is this, right? And he said to me, oh, you belong to a union now. They can't pay you different than anybody else in the workplace. And for me, that was the selling point to being part of a union, you know what? I wasn't being treated any differently for a change in the workplace because now I was as equal as anybody else in there. And for me, that was the selling point to a union. But it's followed through in my life too as well. I mean, a union has given me the opportunity not to be treated different in the workplace. A union's given me the opportunity and developed me to be strong within my community. It's tough being a black person growing up or going to school in an all-white community, it's not an easy task. Things certainly have changed over the last 40 years, where you've seen a much more influx of people of color and of different backgrounds. You're seeing more Aboriginal people working and living in the communities, and it's much different. But I think truly for me, the union has been a good saving grace of respecting who I am and respecting my rights and other workers of different ethnicities. In 1985, and I was working for the government of Manitoba as a home care attendant, and we were non-unionized. I wasn't there very long, and I started to talk to some people, and so of course, again, we talked about getting unionized, and because we had no benefits, no pension plan, no nothing, right? And we had no regular hours of work. And so I worked in a small unit of, at that time it was 45 people. There were 8 women and the rest were all guys. So we talked about getting involved and getting a union, and so we went out and we did some hunting. And so we decided to go with the Manitoba Government and General Employees Union. And then we had our first union meeting, and all the boys ran for all the positions, and they were all elected. They wouldn't well, actually, they let one sister become the secretary because they thought that was a really good position for her.